It is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for the first Lions Virtual Symposium, International Second Vice President Brian Sheehan. Vice President Brian is from Bird Island, Minnesota, United States, and has been a member of the Bird Island Lions Club since 1991. He is the founder and CEO of a software company, and as most of you know, has an affinity for penguins. Vice President Brian has served our association in so many ways over the years, many of which I'd like to acknowledge in this introduction. However, you can read his biography on lionsclubs.org because I am just as eager as you are to hear his remarks, and I know that he will leave you informed, entertained, inspired, and challenged. With that, it is indeed my honor to welcome International Second Vice President Brian Sheehan.
Wendy, thank you very much. Can you all hear me?
We sure can. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much for that great introduction, Wendy, and a thank you to you and a thank you to this committee. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. Yes, I do have my penguin socks on too, just in case people were wondering or questioning. I've got plenty of Mountain Dew here, and I've got plenty of pop available to me. I got my pizza here. That these symposiums are great because you can do what you want. And I haven't spilled it on my tie. I haven't spilled it on my shirt yet, so that's good. I am very excited to be here. What a great symposium we've had thus far, haven't we? I want to see a show of hands. Who is sick of this pandemic and waiting for the day that it's over? We all know that it can be some time yet. We want to make sure that everybody is out there and everybody remains safe yet. In the meantime, we find ways to cope, like this great idea of this symposium and sharing of ideas as we prepare for tomorrow and how we can help those in need. Let's get everybody in the right mindset here. I want everybody to get up and I want everybody to dance a little bit. We have some great music here thus far. Technology is great when it works.
I need toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper. I'm out of toilet paper. It's my corona. I need toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper. I'm out of toilet paper. It's my corona.
Got to make a grocery run. Well, that sounds fun. Why am I out here risking my life? Corona. My corona.
I'm out of toilet paper. It's my corona.
Don't come any closer, huh? I'll mess you up. I am just coming in for some wipes. Corona. Kroger's full of empty shelves. What the hell? Yes, I'm stocking up on boxed white. Corona. Nothing's making sense. No more friends. No more basketball kids are home from school. It's raining too, and I'm losing my mind. My corona. My corona.
I need toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper. I'm out of toilet paper. It's my corona.
Toilet
I need
paper.
toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper. I'm out of toilet paper. It's my corona.
When you gonna get to me? Get to me. Is it just a matter of time? Corona. My corona. My corona. So sick of my corona. Hey. My corona. My corona.
You can tell some people have way too much time on our hands, don't we? But the coronavirus will not get us down, will it? I want to thank the Young Lions Task Force in sponsoring this event. I know that it took many people to get all of this together, and I want to thank them for not sitting back and waiting for somebody else to do it, which sometimes we all do sometimes, waiting for somebody else to come up with that idea. I also want to thank them for asking me to be a guest speaker here. And thanks to everyone on the call for hanging around and participating in this symposium. I hope that I can stir some of the creative thoughts in your minds and inspire you to think out of the box in these difficult times as we move forward. And we've had some great speakers. It's just been a wonderful day when we can learn and share like this and in the pandemic that we're in. Great for Jordan and Lewis and the Leo advisors, Nick, great talk, Jody, Maria, Steve, they were absolutely fabulous. Daniel, it's so great to be able to share this information. Very important. So what I want to do is I want to focus on yesterday. I want to focus on today, and I want to focus on tomorrow. If we're talking about the future, we need to know about yesterday. We need to know what our objectives have always been in the past. We need to know how this organization got started up. We need to know what is it that we're trying to achieve. And we need to know what's worked well in the past and what things maybe could be due for change. And then we can transition over to the future a little bit. We must know where we want to go for tomorrow. And in order to know where we want to go for tomorrow, is we've got to be able to set some goals, and we've got to set those goals today. With the future actually is today plus some change equals tomorrow. So our future is tomorrow. So yesteryear, nobody ever heard of COVID-19 or the social distancing. Yesteryear or yesterday in all practical terms, Lions served our community and the world. We started with it. We always have. We've done it for the last 100 years. We're doing it today, and we're going to do it for the next 100 years and beyond as well. So yesteryear, we've served our communities for 103 years. Nothing's going to stop us from doing it, and especially this pandemic. Today, we would never have thought to have a Zoom meeting with 1,800 potential participants sitting in. Again, thanks to the Young Lion Task Force for sponsoring this and anybody dealing with the assistance of this symposium, as well as all the attendees that are coming and showed up as well and participating in the chat boxes. It shows us that you care. Today, COVID-19 has changed our lives. Our world will never, ever be the same again. We're going to look at things completely different than what we have in the past. Don't give COVID-19 a reason for us to fail. Don't give the coronavirus our excuse. And I want you to promise me that you won't use that as an excuse for things that are not necessarily working out. Don't give COVID-19 our excuse for maybe losing some members. Don't give this pandemic reasons why we didn't start some clubs. Don't give COVID-19 reasons for us not able to meet. Don't give it reasons for us not to be able to serve. Use COVID-19 as an opportunity to serve more. I smile that what this pandemic has given us today. The results of COVID-19 I see every day on social media. In fact, to be honest, I can't wait for tomorrow. Not to see the negativity that the news brings us, but the great things that Lions continue to do in very creative ways each and every day. When you get on your social media, you're able to see those. Don't use it as an excuse. Use it as an opportunity. And I want each and every one of you to promise me, raise your hand. I know that we may have a little dip in our membership, but we will come back stronger than ever because you all know where there's a need, there's a lion. I want you to promise me this will not be made as an excuse. Wendy, take a look. I'm sure all the hands are up because we know we're going to get through this and we're going to overcome this. You take a look at the opportunities that are there in front of us now with this pandemic. From Ireland to Nepal to Ontario to Nairobi to the United States to India. From distributing personal protective equipment to distributing food to sewing of masks, my social media is flooded with the great things that each and every one of you do. Let's not forget to stay in touch with all of our Lions members who may need help during these times, and especially our community. I love this organization because it's about our community first. Then we reach out to the assistance of our district, then our multiple district, and then globally. Your foundation has given over 120 grants in this very short time frame, in excess of $2.6 million for areas of extreme need. I've never been more prouder. You don't have to look far for the pride of Lions that we all have. So, for an agenda today, what I want to talk about is I want to talk about yesterday. I want to talk about yesterday, but new members, I'm not going to go over our complete orientation. I'd probably lose you guys in about 9 to 12 hours. And just think if Melvin Jones was around today and if he could talk and what he would necessarily say, I think is very important. I have some words from Melvin Jones coming up here in a moment. And how about tomorrow? My thoughts on the future of Lionism. We're going to talk about today. We get to tomorrow, like I said before, with change. We get change today, and that equals tomorrow. Meaningful opportunities to change. 6 steps to change your life. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about benefits. We'll talk about don't stop, don't give up, and we'll have some time for questions as well. So again, welcome everybody to this first Lions Virtual Symposium. A big cyber welcome to everybody. If you've enjoyed the day thus far, make sure you spread the news for the next one coming up. If you haven't enjoyed it today, send an email to the organizers. Put my information in the chat box. Not negativity, but solutions on how we can make this better. This is the inaugural event, and each time gets better and better. I hope this doesn't stop even after this pandemic. I hope this continues on. What a way to touch people of the world and get more family and get more friends. I know this has caused some of us to step out of our comfort zone, and that's awesome. And congratulations to you that have, and especially to those that have encouraged it as well. So thank you. Let's go back to beyond yesterday, to the beginning of time. Cave people in the Stone Age, they started seeing birds flying, and they said, why can't we do that? And so they made an attempt. They made that attempt to go out there and fly. And say they tried a number of times. Man continued until he got to the point where sometimes he would fail. Sometimes he would think out of the box. They would think of other things to be able to do. They failed many times. But did they give up? No. They never, ever gave up. They continued. They continued to try and try and try. And I want to pause this for a second because I want you to relate that to our founder, Melvin Jones. Melvin Jones started up a business circle, and he wanted to do better for his business and other local businesses in Chicago. And it failed miserably. And it would have been very easy for him to just give up. It didn't work. Why do I want to go through this again? But he didn't. And I want you to think, where would we be at today if he had given up? What a visionary person that we had. He had a great vision for this organization. Helen Keller came along and she gave us some goals to be Knights of the Blind. But Melvin Jones never ever gave up. And he could have done that. And we have to use that as an inspiration. It's too easy to give up. We don't want to do that. With continued attempt and valid attempt. If you believe it can be done, it's going to be done. Melvin Jones believed in this organization, and as soon as he came to realize you can't get very far in life until you start doing something for somebody else, it all came together. And we are all so happy that he didn't give up, and we have this great organization that we have. Let's talk about Melvin Jones here just for a moment. And from the typewriter of Melvin Jones, and Melvin Jones' own word, I want to give a special shout out and a special thanks here to my friend, Past District Governor Chris Carlone out of Louisiana. He came across some of Melvin Jones's information and materials and quotes and books and some of expense reports. And he had this book of speeches. And anytime somebody asked him to give a speech, he was all there and ready for it. So what I want you to do as we listen to this, as I read what one of his speeches was, and this speech was the Creed of Lionism, I can just want you to imagine Melvin Jones sitting there and talking to a group or a crowd that you're sitting in. And imagine our founder and what he did and how he relates to the same exact feelings that each and every one of us have, I think is so important. I am Lionism. Though known by the name, which I now bear, but only brief years, I've lived in the hearts of men since the dawn of history and will continue to live therein so long as men love justice and the service of their fellow man. I live as a friend to all mankind, and I count my friendship more precious than rubies and much gold. I rejoice in the success and prosperity of all the race, and I would envy no man because of their high position he may attain. And when fortune ceases to smile upon my fellows, I delight in the word of encouragement, the proffer of aid, and the giving of myself, unstintingly in their behalf. I would encourage and not criticize. I would help and not hinder. I would not sit in the scorner's seat, nor hurl the cynic's ban, but live by the side of the road and be a friend to man. I am a lover of my country and pledge loyalty to her institutions and devotion to the ideals that gave her birth. I stand as a sentinel on the watchtowers of liberty. When men, through ignorance or design, attach her sacred portals, I rise to her defense. I live only for others. I found life by losing it in service. I will lose it only when I live to myself alone. This is my creed. This is the reason for my existence. I live that I may serve. I am Lionism. Those were the words from our founder, Melvin Jones, and how inspirational and motivator that he was. Each and every one of you listening in, I know, believe in these words and you live by these words. Each and every one of us do. It's what fires us up. This depicts why and how our motto of "We Serve" came about and continues to be our stronghold and our foundation of this great organization. I know that each and every one of you say these words. You believe in these words. You live by those words. I live that I may serve. I am Lionism. You are Lionism. With that attitude, we will continue to live and prosper to serve. That attitude and word looks like from our founder will give us through pandemic. It's going to get us there. Or anything that life's going to throw at us, it's going to get it there. I am Lionism. And I hope you agree with that. In the chat box, we're proud of our past. In the chat box, if you could type in what you're proud of our Lions past. If you want to just type a few of those in, and we may have Wendy to give a couple of these that are typed in, but what are you most proud of in our past? And our past could be yesterday. It could be last year. It could be the beginning of our foundation. It could be anything. There are many things that we are very proud of from our Lions past. Wendy, are a couple of them getting typed in?
They're starting to, just a moment.
Awesome.
And then they're going to come fast and furious.
And we can't take 2 hours to go through them all because we have a lot. I know we do.
We have Lion Emily says vision screening. Lion Lara serving the underprivileged. Lion Charlotte, the friends I've made. Lion Elisa, charitable arm LCIF grants to disaster areas. Lion Linda worldwide assistants.
There's millions and
Lots
millions
of
of them,
them. Yes.
and what we're proud of. And I'm sure some of those included global humanitarians, community help. We are always there. We have the boots on the ground, serving others in need, no matter the size of the need. Take a look at what our Lions Eye Banks have done for decades and decades and decades, and what they do and what they serve. Kids site, kids screenings, diabetic centers, childhood cancer centers, watching new leaders emerge. Not only the tangibles, but watching new leaders coming forward. That's everybody on this call. It's about others. I'm most proud of this organization because it's about other people. We're one big happy family, and I love this organization, and I know you do too. And thumbs up wherever you're at of the great things that we do. You know, our yesterday has given us a great foundation, and I don't mean our financial arm. I mean the foundation that a building is built off of. We know that any structure or organization needs a great foundation. I don't believe we could have asked for any better foundation than our founding Lions have given to us in the last 103 years. It's up to us to continue to build the pillars on top of this foundation, the pillars like our LCIF, our own foundation, which can be a whole nother symposium. Our LEOs, our global action team, to continue to strengthen our foundation, develop new leaders with new clubs and diversity, cyber clubs, specialty clubs, traditional clubs, campus clubs, Lioness Bridge clubs, the wonderful things that they've always done, Leo Lions clubs. Build a branch with new and innovating members. We must know from our past. Our past is rich in resources so that we can move forward into the future. It's something to be proud of, something to learn from. If you don't know where you've been and what you've done, what has worked and what has not worked, how do you know where you want to be and where we are as an organization and where we should be? So I ask anybody, what does this mean? I've used this in a lot of my facility training back in training district governor elects. And we heard it throughout today, all day. If you always do what you have always done, you will always get what you have always gotten. We have to be able to change the things that have not worked for us in the past. We have to change in order to fit the current times and new generations and making everybody happy. Do we have our problems? Absolutely. Absolutely, we have our problems. Every organization, every district, every club, every society, every member has some problems and we could do better. And we learn from them. I'd like you to type in the chat panel too, what qualities do you want to see in your leaders? And that includes you. These are qualities that you think you may have. They may be qualities that you think you can work on a little bit. Those are all very important to be able to find, and I'm sure they're rolling in as well. If you Google characteristics of a leader, this is what you find: vision and purpose, being transparent, emotional intelligence, empathy, creative, innovative, delegating, having empowerment. There's a lot of traits that we need to have as leaders. Accountability, one of my key ones. Decision making, communicating. Communicating means two ways. It's not just telling, it's receiving as well. That includes listening, having a commitment and passion, inspire others, and confidence. If you take a look, the number one thing that people see that they want as a trait in their leader and a quality in their leader is honesty and integrity. Now, do you have these qualities? I know you do. I absolutely do. I also know that you can work on some of them to make them better. I know I have some I can work on to improve myself as well. We all do. This brings us to the future. Let's talk about that for a moment. If we've got good leaders with these qualities, we're going to have a great leaders. And this brings us to our future. New generations now are becoming smarter and smarter. We've got kids that are working on iPads before they're able to talk. We changed a generation at a time. Each generation gets smarter and smarter and not afraid to try different things. They may fail, but they'll take a step back, change things, and try to be for the better. It's a different world out there. It's different generations. This is not the same clubs that your grandfather had, your father have, or you have. We have to be able to change our clubs in order to fit these new generations, and there's been a lot of great discussion on that thus far. The progression of our technology has helped out considerably. We go from back around the Stone Ages to having smoke signals to be able to communicate long distances. We upgraded the cans and strings. We tried different things. We tried to be able to have a network that could have more people involved in doing the things that we're doing. I can envision the day in the future where we have a hologram of Melvin Jones standing there and actually giving his speeches and giving his talks. What I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for that day of Star Trek with Spock being able to break down my molecules so I can go over into Dublin or I could go to Dubai or I could go wherever I wanted to in an instant. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm ready. I'm waiting for that moment. So our progression of the future has really changed. And we can have fun dreaming out there. 100 years, 200-year anniversary. Can't you see on the left side that that's Lions Clubs International? That's our that's our that's our structure. That's our club. That's our headquarters. It'll go around from city to city and being able to visit all of us. Governments no longer exist. Can you imagine if the Lions organized and controlled and did the world? The world is run by social organization. It's a diverse world. We don't have any borders. We have from 8 constitutional areas to 23. We could have lions joining at the age of 5. They got their own multiples. Our international president is probably a multimillionaire in business, and he's 19 years old. But the world will continue, no matter how old or how far you look in the future, the world needs service. And it needs service more than ever. So honestly, that future is now. That future is today. We change every single day that goes by is our future. I believe this COVID-19 has leapfrogged us 7 to 9 years into the future, and that happened over 2 months. We had these tools before, but we didn't use them because we weren't forced to use them. The pandemic has changed how this world thinks. The pandemic has forced our hand to use technology already in existence. I feel we now have meetings virtually and socially. We'll start doing that now. I honestly do believe we would not have been at this point in time with a symposium like this for another 10 years at least. You always got to look for the positive in things. And I think this is one of the biggest positives that we can have out of this pandemic. And I hope it keeps up. We just finished our board meeting a week or so ago. It started on March 23rd, where we started posting material out there so we could all be afreshed on what topics we're talking about. It gave us a chance to talk about things. We finished it up on April 21st. It was a long one. We used, but we didn't have a choice. You have to be able to get your work done no matter what can be. We could sit back and just say, oh, let's just sit back and wait for this to pass. But no, when you've got a storm outside, we learn how we can dance in the rain. We use collaboration clients, conferencing systems from Kudu. Go to the meeting, Ring Central. You got to understand our board members are globally, all over the world. And a lot of them do not speak the same language whatsoever or understand the same language. So we found the tools in order to get by it. It doesn't replace necessarily that face to face meeting that we were so accustomed to, being able to sit over a noon hour and be able to discuss these topics with a number of people wherever at your table. But we got it done. LCIF executive board meeting the same way. Your council of governor meetings you have coming up, same thing. You're going to find ways to get them done. Your district conventions, your cabinet meetings, your club meetings. You're going to find a way to do it now. And I hope we don't stop when this pandemic is over and we can get out. There's no reason that we can't continue with some of our club meetings in this fashion, especially some of our club members that go down south in the wintertime. It'd be nice to be able to involve everybody. There's so many tools out there for us globally. There's the collaboration clients I talked about a moment ago, Zoom, Teams, Microsoft Teams, GoToMeeting, WebEx, Google, RingCentral. There's a lot of them out there. There's a number of conferencing systems out there and training tools that we have. I just acquired vConference for my business user meetings because we can't all get together and bring everybody all over together for a meeting. We signed up for a vConference and we can have multiple seminars going on at the same time and people can go in and out of rooms. They can go into vendor areas. They can go to an exhibit booth. They can go into roundtable discussions. There's tools out there in order to be able to increase the participation of people and give them an advantage no matter where they are at. Big Blue Button is another one that LCI is currently looking at for training tools. There's lots of them out there. And miscellaneous things, all counted, Survey Monkey, simple voting. There's a lot of things out there, and this has really forced us in the future to be able to do it. So now is the time. I challenge you to start up new clubs or branch of your own club. Traditional clubs, campus clubs, specialty clubs, virtual cyber clubs is a great time to be able to do this. And I saw a lot of the comments in the notes of people making that comment. Now is a great time to do that. It's just a different management and meeting style. 75% of the members have to reside in the same multiple district. It's not necessarily a specialty club unless you share interests. Meetings can be virtual or in person. Great opportunity for us if we can't get out, not to just sit here and wait for this pandemic to be done. Being able to go out there and doing it now. Let's talk about accountability for a moment. We've got to worry about ourselves. We can't worry about somebody else and when are they going to take charge and when are they going to do something, when somebody going to set up a symposium. Don't worry about other people. Worry about yourself and the things that you can do.
Worry about yourself.
Can I help?
No. I help. I don't. You can help when we're out to eat, okay? You can help when we're out to eat.
You want me to help, Rose?
No. Thank you. No, thank you.
What do you want me to do?
Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. I'll do this one, so gonna do that. You drive! Worry about yourself. Go drive! Go!
So worry about yourself. Accountability is a big thing, and it goes down to every level from the international president to past presidents to directors to council chairs to governors to members to club people. It's everybody. It's about accountability. We need to be accountable for ourselves first and primarily. We have to be accountable for our clubs. We have to be accountable and don't just sit back there and waiting for somebody else to be able to do it. And sometimes we'll sit back and I've heard some of the comments here today and yeah, we got an older club and things just aren't going the way it should and we've had our problems and bring up all the negativity. The past is the past. It's done. It's water underneath the bridge. We need to be able
Who
to
did this mess?
move on.
Who did this? Somebody made it. Who made it? Who made this mess?
Stand up and be accountable.
Girls, who pooped in the kitchen? Sunny, you pooped in the kitchen?
Who took the cookie off the counter?
What did you do, Aries? Aries. Who got into the trash? Aries. Did you do this? What did you do? Aries.
Don't
Did
be
you do this?
don't be embarrassed if something doesn't work out.
Bad dog.
We can take a step back and try something else, but stand up and be accountable. We spend too much time complaining on what others do. Stand up and be accountable. Do it in a non invasive way. We don't want to ever hurt anyone's feelings. And Jody brought that up, squashing of the marshmallows. We don't want to be squashing marshmallows and hurting people. Create a team, create a vision together. Do an analysis of your club and what do we need to do better in our club? How can we improve it? And then build that plan so you can be successful and have everybody being able to join in for that. Again, the past is the past. Let's be done with that. The future is about accountability. That brings us today. How many times we heard, and this came up with all those things too, this is the way we've always done it. I'm sick of hearing that. What do we have to lose by trying new things? And past Director Glass gave great examples on what to do when you hit some of those obstacles. There's no future in LCI without what? There's no future in LCI without change. The 3 C's of life: choices, chances, and changes. You must make a choice to take a chance, or your life will never ever change. Keep what's working. Try different things. Keep some of those traditions that have been good, but try new things. And if they fail, you gave it that shot. Try something else. Build a vision. Club districts and analysis. Get a few goals out there. Build a plan and accomplish it. We must be open to try to change.
Emma. Huh? Emma.
Try new technology.
Emma.
What do you got to lose?
Emma.
It may not be for you.
Emma. Emma.
But we give our message apart and we try different things out. And it may not be for you. This pandemic with these social distancing and being able to try different things with Zoom may not necessarily be for you, but don't leave anybody behind. Bring them along, help them, help your members to be able to help them to be able to get on so you could do a club meeting and don't leave anybody out. I think very important to be able to do. 6 steps to changing your life. Okay? I always like coming up with solutions. It's easy to talk about problems. And let's talk about 6 steps to change your life. When you change your thinking, you change your beliefs. When you change your beliefs, you change your expectations. When you change your expectations, you change your attitude. When you change your attitude, you change your behavior. When you change your behavior, you change your performance. And most importantly, when you change your performance, you change your life. But more importantly, is if you change your life with Lions, you change the lives of everyone you help and you serve and you touch. That's the difference. We have to be able to change. We change the lives of so many people. So let's talk about each one of these steps. Step 1, remember that Believe video that I showed a while ago on the flights, and Melvin Jones believed in this organization. He didn't give up. He kept trying. You change your thinking with your beliefs. Melvin Jones believed it could happen, and he changed his thought process. Change begins with the mind. Beliefs are nothing more than a byproduct of what you have thought about for long enough. You keep mulling it in your head, something you've bought into. Always remember that. What you believe and what you think is just a collection of continual thoughts that have formed themselves into a conviction. Do you communicate and brainstorm with other people? Do you bounce ideas off of everyone? When you can break down the process of thinking into a manageable number of stages, when you do that, you create a plan. If it looks overwhelming, break it down. Create a plan to accomplish the goals that you want to be able to set. You reduce the perceived risk associated with change. You will believe as a team. So when you change your thinking, you're going to change your beliefs. Step two, belief is the knowledge that we can do something to better ourselves, our club, our organization, whatever. It's the inner feeling that what we undertake, we can accomplish what we set out to do. For the most part, all of us have the ability to look at something and know, can we do it or can't we do it? Like I said in step one, if it's intimidating, we need to break it down into a manageable, smaller step. We all know how we eat an elephant. It's an overwhelming task. You eat an elephant one bite at a time. You have no other choices. So in belief, there's power. Our eyes are open. Our opportunities become plain. Our visions become realities. Our beliefs control everything we do. If we believe we can, we believe we cannot, we are correct. It's up to us. Believe in your strengths.
He believed in himself, and you can too.
Oh man, you gonna put it on me like that?
You can do anything that you want. You can get singing lessons, get a better job, make more money. You could be even like rich. You could live in the White House someday. You could be president.
Me?
Do what you want to do.
You're
It's not about up. It's not up to other people.
It's true.
It's up to you.
If you believe it, it can happen. I always had one of my mentors, a PID that told me that passed away. I believe he got it from one of the past presidents. If it is to be, it is up to me. Be in control of your own destiny. When you believe it, it's going to happen. Step three, when you change your expectations, you change your attitude. Omit that can't thought out of your head. Can't is such a negative word. Your expectations are going to determine your attitude. Most people get used to average. They get used to second best. Should we stand for mediocre? Nelson Boswell, he's a famous author of self help books. He said, the first and most important step towards success is the expectation that we can succeed. Doesn't it feel good when we meet our expectations or we do things that are good and we complete them? When we meet our expectations, our attitude changes and it's a positive change. Let me tell you a little bit of something about attitude. Attitude goes a long way. You don't have to be mediocre. You don't have to be the same as everybody else. Attitude drives everything. Having a positive attitude makes things enjoyable. We have some of those negative people that are negative all the time to put people down to raise themselves up. Attitude can change everything. Run across somebody with a good attitude, positive attitude. It just changes. It's contagious in what we do. Always go out there with a positive attitude. You have a choice every second of every day. That choice is what your attitude is. Believe me, people are watching. They can see it. You can have a negative attitude or you can have a positive attitude. And life becomes so much more short when we can have that positive attitude. When our attitude begins to change, when we become involved with something, our behavior begins to change as well. The reasons we have to make personal changes is that we can't take other people on a trip if we haven't been there ourselves. When we have that better attitude, our expectations automatically rise. We serve, you serve, Lions serve. Doesn't your attitude change just by hearing that? When our attitude changes, our behavior, our communities are the beneficiaries of our attitude change. When you change your behavior, you change your performance. Most people would rather live with old problems than new solutions. It's the easy way out. Sometimes when we don't change leadership, we become stagnant. We see this all the time in this organization or any organization for that fact. It's how we've always done it before. A marshmallow squisher. We need new members, new officers, new leaders. This brings creativity with new ideas. We would rather be comfortable than correct. We would rather stay in a routine than make changes. Even when we know that the changes are going to be better for us, it's harder. We often don't make them because we feel uncomfortable or awkward or about making that kind of change until we get courage and keep used to living with sometimes some things that's not comfortable. We can't get any better. Once our behavior changes, so do our expectations, and our performance must follow. It's easier to turn failure into success than an excuse into a possibility. A person can fail, they can turn around and understand their failure to make it a success. Isn't this what our founder Melvin Jones did? Because I want to tell you, a person who makes excuses for everything will never truly succeed, will they? Don't you know some people who just have an excuse for everything? Why they could not, should not, did not, would not, have not, will not. I promise you, when you excuse what you are doing and excuse where you are and you allow the expectations, you fail to reach your full potential. It's impossible to turn excuses into possibilities. You promised me at the beginning of this, you will not, we cannot use this pandemic as an excuse. You change your performance, you will change your life, which will change the world. Doesn't this bring us full circle to my first comments from Melvin Jones? I am Lionism, which you can replace with you are Lionism. Another one of Melvin's short talks, Lionism. There is only one better lion than the lion who gets behind and pushes, and that is the lion who gets ahead and pulls. The highest and noblest qualities in man, when cultivated and put to practical use, is Lionism. Each and every one of you listening in, I know, believe in these words and live by these words from our great founder. This depicts why and how our motto of We Serve came about, and it continues to be our stronghold and our foundation of this great organization. These are truly words that each and every one of us can live by. Do you agree? Melvin Jones never gave up. In this day and age, it's easier to give up than to continue on sometimes. Do not give up. This is the easy way out. Do not let your fellow members from your club give up. Be there for them. Find out how it's done.
Don't stop, don't give up. 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 Keep trying, keep trying. Don't give up, don't give up. You'll get it right, you'll get it right.
Words to live by.
Don't stop, don't give up. Don't stop, don't give up. Don't stop, don't give up. Keep trying, keep
If
trying.
things don't work, try something different.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. You'll get it right. You'll get it right.
Everybody,
Don't
join
stop,
in.
Don't give up. Don't stop, don't give up. Don't stop, don't give up.
Okay, she goes on for 15 minutes. And the reason I bring that up is about 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, you guys are going to be sleeping in bed, and that's going to be running through your head. Don't stop, don't give up. Will you call up all the organizers of this meeting and just tell them that it's just going through my head, okay? So I want to thank you for being able to do that. Wendy, would we have any questions or comments out there at all?
We have just a couple, yes, sir. First, a comment. Vice President Brian, you mentioned that you hope this format does not end after the pandemic. And we had a similar comment from Lion Ryan. He said, I hope LCI considers using this format occasionally in the future, as it allows people to participate in the future that otherwise couldn't, even when life returns to our new normal.
Thank you for that comment. I think it's very important. LCI has a lot of learning opportunities that we can continue on, especially when we're home with the learning management system. But I think you're completely right. It's the interactive things that are going on. We have to make this interactive so people can give some opinions on things. And again, I know with the Young Lions Task Force out there, they'll continue doing this. I've been in a lot of Zooms with a lot of people in a lot of different groups, and it's been awesome. I've been having wine tasting on Fridays, and we've been having campfires, and we've all been having a great time. So it's up to everybody on this call. Let's keep these things going and be instrumental to keep them going. I agree with you. LCI has to do these interactive ones as well. Thank you.
Thank you. We had a question, I think came in from YouTube, asking what you see as the largest challenge to LCI.
You know, I think our largest challenge is what I talked about today. It's not changing. Sometimes we're very comfortable in doing the things that we're doing because it's easier to keep going along the same path than to take something that's different. And we also, I think a big challenge for us too is being able to relate to different generations. We all have to be able to get along. And if we have an older average member club, it may not be able to relate with smaller generations. I'm from a very small community. We've got 65 people in our club. We don't call them old members, we call them seasoned members with some experience. We have young members, but it doesn't always work that way. We have to be able to listen to people with new ideas, and if they want to go off and try on a committee or try a service project, let them do it. What harm is it going to do? So keeping an open mind, I think, is the biggest thing to keep us successful too.
Thank you. We had another question asking how the North American Membership Initiative will be rolled out. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
You know, currently what we did, and I'll be brief on this. We had 9 pilot sites. We got a steering committee together, and they weren't PIDs or PIPs or anything else. They were people that were successful in the past district governors, council chairs, new club developers, young lions, seasoned lions, and we brainstormed and we got together and we said, how come we're not successful? Let's get this down to the district and the club level. It's got to be generated from the district and the club level. We did that for a year, and we came up with ideas, and we have the best LCI staff in the world. They came up with ideas and they brainstormed. LCIF staff brought them some of the tools they could. Everybody was excited. The key to it was communication, excitement, and they were driving it. We just rolled it out to the district governors elect in St. Charles at their DGE school in February. They are now preparing and doing that for whoever wanted to opt in, and we have over 83% of the districts in North America that opted in. And they now are going to be doing that from July forward for the entire year. I know other parts of the globe and other parts of the world are asking, when is that going to be rolled out to us? I think it's very important for our constitutional areas. We all have different needs, and we don't have any numbers yet on if this is going to be successful or not. We will as the year goes on. If those numbers are not successful, we need to take a step back and take another direction. If they are successful, then we'll take a look at being able to roll that out in different manners through our GAT structure. We have that structure out there. We're just going to make it more of a global membership initiative to have things work for different constitutional areas.
All right, thank you. We had another question about the Leo program. And it's noted that we always say that Leos are a part of us, but we talk about 1.4 million members. We're just speaking about Lions and not Leos. So the question, and I'm sorry, I don't know specifically who it's from. I think it came from our YouTube live stream. But how do you see the involvement of Leos within our association?
I love Leos. I absolutely love Leos. When we go to conventions and things going on, I give them a memory stick and it just works. I just know how to get things done. Everybody says Leos is our future. I completely disagree. Leos is our present. Leos are here for now. Part of our problem with Leos is we've never been able to track them. There hasn't been a registration and stuff for Leos. I think it's very important to be able to, and especially with security and everything else, but know where our Leos are, so that we can give them that bridge to go over into Lions when it's ready and it's when their time to be able to do that. I think Leos play such an important part in our future. I see so many people that were raised up and brought up in that Leo program. I wish we had it in our community when I was young. We didn't. I think Leos are awesome, and I hope that with that Leo to Lion bridge that's out there, they can still keep their clubs together and intact, and they'll still be able to do great things for the community. But Leos are awesome. They absolutely are part of our future and they're part of our present.
Thank you, Vice President Brian. You have given us all something to think about and really decide what we will change today to get that tomorrow we desire. I do think that's all the time that we have questions for. Do you have a friend you want to share with us there first? Did I miss it?
He just kind of sneaks in occasionally, so it's all good. I'm done. I'm blowing through my last couple of screens there. There we go. So Wendy, before we go, I think we got a special surprise, right? Today's April 25th, isn't it? Or did I miss a couple days here with this pandemic?
No, the days do start running together, but it is April 25th, and April 25th is Lions Worldwide Induction Day. So today's special event would be a perfect opportunity to induct new members. What better way to symbolize the future that we've been discussing? This is the future of Lionism.
Awesome.
Yeah, Lion Daniel Marnie Elkins, will you please join Vice President Brian live to introduce our new Lions?
Absolutely. So I'm in the process of bringing those lions on so we can actually see their faces here. And we have something fun and exciting that is occurring. That there are three new clubs that have chartered. And they happened during this time of this pandemic, and they weren't able to have their official induction as Lions. So District Governor Marie Cunning is the person who sort of helped bring these in, and she talked about them. So we have all three of the presidents of those clubs and then the members of those clubs watching on YouTube and in this chat here to be inducted. And we are also being joined by two brand new West Virginia Lions sponsored by PID Steve Glass as a part of the Hope Lions Club, who are also as a part of this. So a total of 104 new Lions to be inducted by you today.
It doesn't get any better than this, Daniel. This is awesome. Marie, and we've got the Phoenix Rainbow Lions Club out there, President Rubin. We got Phoenix Jewel of the East Lions Club, President Kamalaxi. Phoenix, sorry for badgering your name. Phoenix Family Leadership and Young Entrepreneurs Prestige Lions Club.
In-induct na tayo.
President Ramiro. And club gaining new members. We've
Number
got
one tayo.
Hope Lions Club out there. We got Alexia and we got Michael. I want everybody listen in. Let's give a huge virtual round of applause for these new members in these clubs. Isn't this awesome?
Woot, woot.
Fantastic. Now the presidents here are going to stand as representatives for the entire club, who's going to be watching you on YouTube as well. Worldwide Induction Day. Lions Clubs International is proclaimed today, April 25th, as Worldwide Induction Day. It is an exciting global membership celebration held annually on the last Saturday in April to unite clubs around the world in welcoming new members. Now, we're here to give you all new puzzle pieces, and this is the job of everybody on this call. We want new Lions to get these new puzzle pieces in their journey.
One L.
Did you really solve?
What's that?
Can I solve?
Okay.
It is a prize puzzle.
Yeah.
I've got a good feeling about this.
That's right. Let me answer this first before you went in.
I had a good feeling about it.
I got a good feeling about this. I got a good feeling about this induction. And we all know the benefits of membership that we have, youth development and disaster relief and assistance for the disabled and temporary assistance for those in need. We also know our member benefits as well. I continue to get puzzle pieces each and every day, and every member on here continues to get puzzle pieces every day on the great reasons and why you are to become a better Lion. It's a sense of belonging. You can develop your leadership skills, your organizational skills, your public speaking. Believe it or not, I was an introvert. I didn't like to talk. I went to conventions and I just as soon sit in my room. So there's a lot of advantages and benefits of being a member. And I am so proud and I am so excited of these 104 members. We're there to protect you. We are family. We have each other's. Here's one of our members here who's in a lot of trouble. There's another social organization trying to get them. What are we going to do? We're going to be there. We got their back. We're going to pick them up, and that's what we're going to do with you new members. And we all have to be able to do that. We have to understand that we have each other's back. Now, what I want to ask this group, I want to ask why you are a Lion, and you new members as well. Why do you want to become a Lion? I want the members who have been a member for quite some time to take a step back and think when you became a Lion. Now, new members, just because we induct you today, this isn't necessarily the day that you will become a member. There's going to be a time frame in the future, and it might be today. It might be next week. It might be 3 years from now. You're all of a sudden are going to go, oh, I get it. You're going to have that aha moment. And you're going to say, I understand. I know what it is to be a Lion. You're going to have it. Each and every one of us have had it. I came across this poem, and I think it's very fitting as to why you want to become a Lion and why we've been a Lion. It's not for money. It's not for fame. It's not for any personal gain. It's just for the love of fellow man. It's just to lend a helping hand. It's something you can't buy with wealth. It's not medals worn with pride. It's for that feeling deep inside. It's that reward down in your heart. It's feeling that you've been a part of helping others. It's a sign that makes you an effective Lion. I go back to a slide that I had a little bit earlier on, and we remember the wonderful things that we continue to do, the wonderful things. This is why I'm a Lion. I'm a Lion because of you, and I'm a Lion because of each and every member. And we got to take that step back and realize the wonderful things we did. So, you as being a new member, I'm excited for you. You're taking this leap, and you don't know necessarily what is on the other side, but you're going to take that risk. You're going to know there's a purpose on why you are becoming a Lion. You're going to help out those in need. You're going to serve. You're going to continue on. You're going to take these chances, and you're going to be successful in being able to do it. So I am so excited for you. So let's induct our new members. Now, new members, since you've shown, and everybody can take this, we should all be able to renew our membership. Since you've shown a passion and a desire as a member of your club, and with Lions Clubs International, I now ask you to repeat after me the obligation of membership. And everybody can join in on this as well. So repeat after me, and you can raise your right hands too. I do hereby express my membership in the Lions Club that I have chosen.
My membership in the Lions Club
I do hereby express my membership in the Lions Club that I have chosen.
I, and state your name.
I, Romero Russell,
take this solemn obligation
to abide by the Constitution and bylaws
of the club and the International Association of Lions Club,
to attend all meetings
regularly, to support and further the interests of the club in all of its undertakings,
my fair share of
to contribute my fair share in participation in our events. I further declare that I will assist in maintaining, building, strengthening the membership of the club. I will help the club by actively serving on committees and in other capacities where my efforts are needed, and that I will practice the principles of the Code of Ethics and the objects of Lions Clubs International. You are now the newest renewed member of your Lions Club and Lions Clubs International. Now you'll have a sponsor out there too, and they will virtually pin you with your pin, which signifies your new membership. I want you to proudly wear that pin with pride. When you see other people wearing that, it's a conversation starter. Promise me that you will keep your enthusiasm to make a better club. Let's give a virtual round of applause to all of these new members. This is awesome. This is exciting, you guys. I am so excited for you, and I know everybody else is too. Now, in closing, life is hard. It can be very slippery, but you have every member of your club, you have every member of this organization are going to be there. You have new family. So when you fall, we're going to pick you up. We're going to help each other because that's what our organization is about. When you feel down and out a little bit and just not feeling up to speed, go ahead and call a member. Call other Lions. You also have a duty to bring your peers in as well. So bring your peers in. So it's not an easy task all the time. As I said, it can be slippery. But we're going to be there for you. We want to make sure that you're heard and you're listened to. We'll take our falls. Gotta see that one more time. Awesome. So again, new members, congratulations to you. Fantastic. Let's pass it back to Daniel again. Thank you, members.
All right. Thank you so much, VP Lion Brian, for being willing to do this. And thank you all, new Lions. You are the future of our association in so many ways. And for all the Lions, I hope you renewed your membership. That was awesome. So this brings us to the end of today's virtual Lions Virtual Symposium. We thank you all for tuning in and joining with us. We hope to see you at the June 6th symposium as well. The registration for that, it is now live and open. And once again, thank you to each and every single person who participated in this process, from behind the scenes to in front of the camera, to the people who just tuned in and to log in and spend time with us today. We are Lions. We serve. See you next time. Have a good day.